headed with this. Because at the end of the day, who is your client? What is the demographic age? And you guys can be off mute for this process. So like I want you guys to participate. Who is the client? What is their age?
65 plus.
65 and older.
Okay, very good. Now I need each of you to tell me internally how old you are, right? If I sat here and spoke to you for an hour and a half and I didn't get you engaged in the conversation, how much of that conversation do you actually think you're going to retain by me
Zero.
physically talking to you? Yeah.
Not a lot.
Okay. Heidi, you and I are probably about the same age.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you think your retirees are going to feel when they're just hearing you speak, is what you have to tell yourself. So now I'm going to ask you another question. I'll be very direct now. George, for yourself, sir, are you a visual person or are you more a contextual person reading?
More visual.
Okay. Jenna, what about you?
Visual.
Visual. Okay. And Jason, what about you?
More abstract thought rather than visual.
Okay. Heidi, what about you?
I'm probably a little bit of both. I like the visual, but then I also like to read.
Okay.
So
The demographic that you're embarking on, who's 65 and older, what year were they born in? If I'm 65, what year am I?
1960.
1960. Okay.
Mhm.
So from 1960 until they're 18 years old, what year is it?
78.
1978. Now they're 18. What is going on in 1978 around that time frame in the United
Energy
Disco.
crisis. The energy crisis.
States? Okay. Now I'm making you go deeper. You're thinking, what on God's earth is Sudi talking about? Right, Jackie? Yeah, because I need you to understand your client. Jackie, I'm not going to call you out on your age, but whatever age you were born, and then you go up there until you turn 18 years old, that's how you were raised and that's how you grew up, right? And then when you're 18, you then get into college, and then you have another group of years. Where I'm getting at for all of us on this call, if you don't know, leverage ChatGPT as your best friend. And I need you to be very specific into ChatGPT so you can understand your demographic. These individuals that you're going to be speaking to, they're a different breed of people. Okay? They were raised differently. The work ethic was differently. Their dress code was differently. Their mannerisms were differently. Every single thing that you were going to learn is what you need to mirror in your presentation. You know what you don't need to do? You do not need to talk highly of yourself. You need to talk more about them. It's called MMFI. Make me feel important. And until you understand your demographic and who you're dealing with, they're going to instantly relate to you. I'll give you one quick example. Last week, I had a dinner with some friends out. A good friend of mine was coming in town, and he had one of his father, one of the business partners had his father in town. His father was roughly 75, 70
Mhm.
years old.
Mhm.
And he was at the table. And Matt, believe it or not, this individual was like, man, you guys are young, this and that. I just remember how it was in my era. And I said, look, I'll be very kind of, and he goes by Johnny. I said, Johnny, I'll be very candid with you. I may be 49 years young, but I'm an old school guy at heart. And what do I mean? And I kind of hit the values of certain things that he felt when he was growing up. And he looked me dead in the eye and he goes, I cannot believe you just shared that. And here are the 5 things that I live my life by. My word is my word. A promise is a promise. Do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. The more people that you help out in life, it's going to come back to you. And the last one, you treat each of these clients if they were your mom and dad. You do that, we don't have a problem. That's what I live by. Okay. My word is my word. It may sound very corny. It may sound very like, are you serious? But until you understand how life works, and until you understand how caring for people goes a long way, what you are doing, you are impacting their life and you have no idea what you're doing. You just think you're going through a sales presentation just to make a sale and keep it moving. That's not what you're doing. Until you understand your why and your purpose, you're putting people, John, for this example, you're giving them the exact same benefit at a lower negotiated rate, so you're saving them money, number one. Jackie, number two, you're giving them a policy to where they can go anywhere they choose to go. And they know that they're going to be taken care of. Jenna, number three, the things that you bring up about the gaps in their coverage aren't things that we're making up. These are things that's sitting there under Medicare's rules and guidelines. Jason, number four, when you get down to learning how we are incorporating their state association throughout the whole presentation, they're not just doing business with Jason Funk. They're doing business with who their association endorses to administer and handle these supplemental benefits on their behalf at a true negotiated rate. Heidi, number five, when you think about helping them and putting them in a better position than you found them, you put them in a better position today than you found them where they were yesterday. And you build that BLT. Do I believe? Do I like you? And can I trust you? And if you pass all three of those, I will reposition a portion of my funds to take it from this financial portfolio over to who you recommend for the fixed index annuity. Oh, and then Nadia, number five, because at the conclusion of every appointment that you made and you've done your email e-app information and it's already been submitted off, every night you sit home and you write a handwritten thank you card immediately to your client. And you put it in that mailbox that night and it goes out the door. And then, John, by doing that, when you just walked away from the home and within 2 days, 3 days of them meeting you, it's not an email thanking them. They go to that mailbox and they open up a handwritten thank you card from you with your contact information, with your business card in it. And then all of a sudden, you know what happens, Matt? That card, when you walked away from the business, it kind of kept that buyer's remorse low because they believe you. Like, you know what? He's a good guy. You know what we did was great. And then guess what's going to happen from that point on, Matt? When you revisit back with them or you get a call back from them, now you're building your referrals. Ladies and gentlemen, the reason why I'm being very, very calm initially here in the kickoff to this presentation is to let you know that this is a process. And this process that we have, it is A to Z. Now, I'm going to throw you a curveball. Heidi, you can't participate on this one. Sorry. Because I think you already knew this answer because I gave it to you when we were in Portland.
Oh, okay. And can I just, as an aside, not everybody that we work with are association members, and I know these trainings kind of gear us towards we're in an association. Are you also thinking that we could line this as, I know you're not an association member or a retired teacher, but we have ASBA, which is an association, and you can join that and you can enjoy the benefits.
Yes, ma'am.
And savings. Okay. All right.
Yep, absolutely.
All right.
But all the marketing that we did is to all your associations. So you guys are going to be working that aspect. But yes, we will.
Quick question on the handwritten cards. My handwriting is atrocious, but my wife's handwriting is amazingly beautiful. How would it appear is if my wife wrote the thing saying, thank you for purchasing a policy through my husband, my family, and I really appreciate it. How would that appear?
You know what? Whether it's your wife's penmanship using your name, they're never going to see your penmanship because everything is done electronically. So, but you could use your wife just to be very transparent because you guys are a team. You're a business partnership. And so that's okay. I've seen husband and wives do this all the time.
Okay.
Absolutely. What I want to share with you guys, this process, getting back, you're baking. You're not cooking. Nadia, what's the difference between a cook and a baker?
Baking, you have to measure out everything very specifically, and there's like a whole process with it. Versus cooking, you can kind of just mix it all together and it'll work.
100%. You have to have the right amount of baking soda. You have to have the right room temperature. You have to have the right, every single thing has to be measured out. This is why this process that we're going to do, it is going to be measured out. And there's a reason why I'm going a little bit more long-winded into this introduction call for a reason, okay? Because until you understand my process and until you can get in between the ears, you'll never understand which way I'm heading. But mark my word, whatever I'm going to share with you here today is nothing different than I would do in a real live presentation. I do it all the time. I am the best broken record you'll ever get. Okay? So, John's cat? Yeah, now you just distracted me by that text.
I'm sorry, it is.
You're
It's
good.
true. It's
Just want to make sure,
adorable.
just want to make sure that there's no like something going on out there. But where I'm getting at here is be the best broken record you can ever be. The only way you are going to perfect your craft is repetition. And repetition becomes the mother of all skill. Does anybody play a sport or played a sport in high school? Matt, what'd you play?
As a wrestler.
Okay. Jackie, what'd you do?
Cheer and soccer.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I was a cheerleader. Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh.
I wasn't thinking so much that was a sport, but you're right, it is a sport.
Mhm.
Yeah. The point of where I'm getting at here is why do you have to practice the same cheer over and over and over? Jackie, do you guys like change it up, that routine, or do you try to work on this routine and do it over and over and over and over again?
Over and over and over again.
Okay, great. And then towards is it me or does this camera keep going back and forth like it's flashing?
Yeah.
Mhm.
It seems like we're like losing a person and then we're getting them back. Oh, that's probably what's happening.
Got it. George. Oh, it's George. Perfect. So getting back again, Jackie, you do the dance over and over and over and over again. And then by mid-season or by the end of the season, tell me how your dance moves are at that point, or your cheering at that point.
Love me. It's a lot better. We have to practice to be perfect. And yeah, if we didn't have our routine down to a T, our cheer coach was not happy and we would have to redo it again and redo it again until everyone had it. We were all in sync. So repetition.
There you go. So here's what I'm going to share with you. This training that we are going to do is going to be the repetition of mother of all skill. I promise you. Okay. You're going to get ingrained with me for 13 weeks that if I don't do what I'm capable of doing with you, you will not be the rock star that I think you are. And you will be the rock star. And I'm going to make sure that we track you. But here's where I'm getting at. And I'm going to give you a visual. I don't think anybody in here has ever been to a live Monday morning meeting in person at an office for AMBA, correct?
Mhm.
Correct? Okay. Every Monday morning meeting. So now I'm going to set the tone because we're getting ready to get this kicked off. Every Monday morning meeting, my team would join in Indianapolis. Okay. We always had roughly about 25 people. And believe it or not, Jackie, some people from my team in the region once a month would drive in from Ohio, Michigan, and Kentucky to be in Indianapolis for the once a month training. Why?
They're
Why?
good.
Why were they driving all? I'm sorry, say again.
I'd say training's more effective in person sometimes, or
Training's more effective in person. The individuals that got there, they took away much more from it. They started learning more from their peers. Their peers started interacting. Even though we're doing this virtually, I'm going to replicate my Monday morning meetings that I used to have in Indianapolis. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be very blunt with you. We were 1099, okay? I decided to take it upon myself to buy or get into a lease of a true office building. I made the room 1,500 square feet, so it wasn't small, but it wasn't large, okay? And I broke it down into 3 areas. One was my office, the middle was the training room, and the third room happened to be the lounge when they walked into the office and a small conference room. And I'll show you visuals of this. You ever heard the phrase, build it and they will come?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm the only one in that era that ever spent out of my pocket, and I'm painting a picture here for you. I spent $30,000 out of my pocket to do the renovation. I spent another $6,000 for the equipment, for the training room, and for all the office furniture. Okay. I'm in $36,000, so roughly $40,000 I'm in. And I'm investing in who? You.
Good team.
Okay. Now, you may think, well, wait a minute, you're not investing in me, you're investing in you. Actually, I'm not. Because I wanted to build an environment to where people felt comfortable that they could walk into the room. I wanted to point to where my wife, thank God, Loretta picked all the colors because the room just had vibrance and the color schemes were there and people just gravitated. And you know what happened, John? Everybody looked forward to coming to the Monday morning meetings. Why? Was it because of me? Or was it because of the interaction that we're about to have? It's because of the interaction we're about to have. People learned, people took away, people did certain things. But what I also wanted and what I demanded from them, give me your issues and problems in the field and let us solve it together as a unit. Don't give me all the fluff. Yes, you can give me the good stuff, but also give me what you're facing. Okay? I'm sorry. Give me what you're facing. And then you know what started to happen from there? We started to have some fun in some teams. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing that I did with you. So I am now 23 minutes into the beginning of our 13-week training. And all you heard me talk about is what?
Training.
The expectations, what I want, how I think this is going to go. Because, ladies and gentlemen, where I'm going to be at moving forward, you're going to get things contextual. You're going to get these recordings, and I need you to listen and replay it back. Don't need to watch it. Listen to it. Why? Because I get back to, you're only going to remember 10% of what you hear. You're going to remember 60% of what you hear and physically write down. But you will be 100% engaged when you listen, write down, and review. And that's the only way you're going to take away from this, because whatever we do here today will be parlayed into next week. 10% of what you hear, 60% of what you hear and write down, and 100% of what you hear, write down and review. That is my taking, because I'm telling you right now, your brain will retain this. So now, here's what I'm going to do. Part number 1, I'm going to get you kicked off here into something called the warm-up. Well, shit, I think I did a pretty damn good job of giving you guys a warm up right now, because just seeing you guys were like, okay, Sudi's ready to rock and roll. When you get an appointment scheduled and it is set, you need to have your game face on, okay? I don't know how you approach your meetings. I don't know how you are dressed, but I will tell you one thing. You better be alive, alert, awake, and enthusiastic when you're joining these meetings. I don't care if you have to get up earlier, get prepared, get mentally your game on. The way you are dressed and how you are being perceived, that baby boomer is going to judge you just like that within the first 30 seconds of seeing you. So how do you think you need to be prepared? Professional.
On time.
On time. Professional. You need to actually have the Lombardi time. Does anybody know what Lombardi time means?
Is it the if you're 10 minutes, or if you're 10 minutes early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. If you're 10 minutes past time, you're screwed. Is that kind of what it is?
Yeah, you're 15 minutes ahead of time. If you're 15 minutes ready to rock and roll, you're on time. If you're exactly on time, you're late. Okay? Vince Lombardi ran it that way for a reason. And I live my life that way. There's one thing that I do not like. Even though it's the Zoom meetings, I get pulled in every which direction. Any family function, any dinner, any meeting, you will never catch me late. I will always be there 15 minutes ahead of time. My family knows that. You need to have that ingrained, okay? Because it's their time and it's your time, but this is your meeting. Part number one. Part number two, you're going to have to lead the dance. I always say this, when you see a couple on the dance floor and they don't know what they're doing, don't blame the woman, blame the man, okay? Because he's not leading the dance properly. But I'm saying that tongue in cheek. You have to lead the dance in this. You got to control the narrative. You have to adapt to your environment and you have to guide them to where you want to be. And the third component, never, ever, ever talk about you in this presentation. Always talk about them. Praise them and appreciate them and really put them on a pedestal. Why? Because they are the association member. And because of them is the reason why you have this appointment set. Or Heidi, to your point, if you're in the general population, understand their background, what they did for a living, what did they teach, what did they do, all this other good stuff. You are going to learn this. But remember, all the marketing went out the door on the association side. So for the 13-week training, 90% I'm dealing with on the association side. Heidi, I'll always interject for you for those on the asthma side. Now, appointment set, ready to rock and roll. Tell me what you see on my end.
Like a Zoom appointment or in person?
No, yeah. What do you see with me right now?
Oh, yeah.
Confidence.
Nothing other
Got
except
that.
for AMBA. Always just a clear, crisp screen, nothing in the background, and it's just you and the organization.
Okay, so thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna hit pause here for a second. Please do not misinterpret what I'm going to state. But now I'm going to play devil's advocate. Everybody with me? Everybody good with that? Okay, good. Nadia, great background. Okay, what are you? One of those liberal people? Matt, great background. Are you trying to tell me that you think you're smarter than me? Okay, John, great background. What do you think? Like you're a high roller living in some like penthouse suite? Jason, nice background. What the hell, man? Do you not have like a real office that you work from? Why did I just make those comments to you?
That's what the
There's
client.
options
Yeah,
that they
that's what
probably
they're
have.
thinking.
Appearance is everything.
Appearance is everything. And don't get me wrong. I know I got to shave every now and then, right? And I always keep it real. But guess what they will never, ever see?
With you, a hair out of place.
What will they never see?
Where you are.
My pants. Oh.
Distraction.
They'll never see they'll never get
Honey, I'm with you.
they'll never get to see my kids, my wife, a cactus. They'll never see this for my first meeting. Why are they only going to see what I just shared with you? You're like, man, he's really going deep. Why?
So they're not distracted.
And
Man.
somebody said it earlier. Where the heck did my background go?
It's just it gives a professional setting and you're showing AMBA so they know where you're coming from and stuff.
Yeah, I set my tone. Now, I have seen agents set the tone and put their state association logo on there. I can't tell you what you should and should not do, but you don't represent or work for that association. You work for and contracted through.
Yeah.
Okay, so don't do that. Keep it like this and keep it simple. Second thing you see, I live and breathe what?
AMBA.
Okay, you know what they don't need to see? The Dallas Cowboys. Why you know why they don't need to see the Dallas Cowboys? Because I live in my heart bleeds for my Cowboys. But you're either going to love me or you're going to hate me. And they just passed judgment on me just like that. And they didn't even get to see me. So the point of where I'm getting at here, retirees and people are visual. That's the first thing you're going to take away in your warm-up. When they're visual, the majority of times when you see your clients, do they have a background drop or do they have their home in their background? What do you see?
Their home.
I'm sorry, say again?
They're home.
They're home.
Okay. And when you see their home, what do you notice?
I look if they have a nice house or not. I can gauge, if I'm going to sell or not.
So
How messy they are.
here's what I'm going to get. The way you pass judgment at your young attained age on their background and in their home and how they dress and how they speak, they're doing the exact same thing to you. So here is what I'm going to let you know. When you go kneecap to kneecap, and I'm going to say something here that may be contradicting some people, but if I lived in a state that I knew that I can actually go in my backyard and I can see these retirees, I would probably physically see the retiree. Here's where I'm getting at splitting it 50-50. There could be 50 virtual, there could be 50 face-to-face. This part of the training is going to talk about my warm-up, but I want you to understand where I came up with this warm-up. Back in our era when we used to go to the door, okay, and we used to park our car. I want to give you a visual so you can understand how this delivery came. We used to park the car, and Jackie, let's pretend you and I are doing joint field training. Jackie and I are in the car. And this is this is exactly what I do. Jackie, before we go into the appointment, go ahead and take your camera off. I'm going to take your microphone off. Okay, we're going to do this. Ready? About to do it live.
Okay.
So Jackie, you and I are driving in the car. We're going down like Jackie. We're about 2 blocks away. Can you do me a favor? I need you to go ahead and clap right now and say, Mrs. Jones, I'm here to make your day better. Go and do it.
Like actually clap.
Mhm.
Mrs. Jones, I'm here to make your day better.
Hold up, Jackie. You need to say that louder. Clap louder. Now do it again.
Mrs. Jones, I'm here to make your day better.
One more time, Jackie. Let's go.
Mrs. Jones, I'm here to make your day better.
Woo! We parked. Jackie, get the heck out of the car. Do not wait. Jackie does everything I'm telling her to do. Jackie opens up the door. We pulled up the car. I'm like, and Jackie, when I'm going up to that door and window, just start waving. All of a sudden, Jackie gets out the car. I get out the car, and we're just waving at a house. Just waving. What is Jackie physically doing right now? Jackie is laughing. Jackie is smiling. Jackie is going, what the hell are we doing here? So here I go. I'm pumping you up before we walk in. I'm here to make your day better. You can ask Jim Colvin, Andre Ray, Laura Winningham, Chad Barton, everybody that I trained in Indianapolis. This is what we do. You get out, you wave at the home. You don't think people are looking at you through your home. They are looking right through that window to see when you show up on time and ready to rock and roll. Now we knock on the door. We knock on the door. They open it up. We're like, hey, how you doing, Mr. Jones? I'm Sudi here with Amber here on behalf of the whatever state association. Have here with me Jackie. Matter of fact, Jackie happens to be one of our newer agents helping me here in Howard County. We're here for the appointment. Oh, well, come on in, Sudi. And as we come on in, I go in there, I wipe my feet, and then I start to take off my shoes. And then all of a sudden they look at me, Jason, like, oh, you don't have to worry about taking off your shoes. Come on in. I'm like, oh, no, Jason. My mother would kill me knowing that I'm walking into your home with my shoes on. And I still proceed to take off my shoes. Now, I used to tell the women at all time, if you got high heels on or whatever, you better paint your toenails. Gentlemen, you better not have any holes in your socks. That was my joke. And everybody used to laugh. Why? Because we all took off our shoes. I'm going to hit pause here for a second. What did I just do there, John?
It shows respect.
That's right. Because in that era, guess what they never did? You don't walk into somebody's house with your shoes on because it was very disrespectful. Okay. Now, to each his own. Now we're walking in, and now Jackie and I are going through, right? And Jackie is right behind me. And back in our era, I would have my blue book here with me. Jackie's behind me with her notepad, and we just kind of gravitate to the living room. We start to adapt to our environment. We start to look around, and we start to figure things out. You are going to be a chameleon. What you're not going to be a Republican. You're not going to be a Democrat. You're not going to be independent. You're not going to be, I don't care what you are. You're going to be zero in this appointment. The only thing you need to be is the liaison between you, AMBA, the insurance company, and their state association. That's it. And if you think that retirees don't bait you, Be very careful with their cell phones because today we are in a digital era. Okay. So keep that in mind. Now you walk in, you adapt to your environment, and you just start chit-chatting. How can you do that today virtually? A little bit to a certain extent, right? So if I had Jackie in the background and I can see Jackie's background, I'm like, oh, Jackie, you have a beautiful home. Actually, what is that painting of? And she's going to say, oh, she'll take her laptop and she'll turn it. If you don't believe me, I've already done this. And they will turn their laptop like, oh, if you don't mind, can you give me a swivel? Because, we used to meet with the retirees in the home on East 11, and they would turn their laptop around and they would get back into kind of getting it positioned. Try it because it gives you a little bit of a conversation. And then you have to try to make sure that this your warm up should be a minimum of 15 to 25 minutes. Mark my word in my warm up. Okay. And here's how you get them to get into your warm up. So once I establish a little bit of rapport, once I build up a little bit by them adjusting their camera so we can have a little bit of chit chat, then I'm going to say, Jackie, so tell me exactly, what did you do for the state association? Like, were you an educator? And you just start to do little probing questions, right? You guys are smart enough to understand the probing questions. I'm not trying to bore you with that. But now I'm going to give you the 202, okay? Remember, appearance, simplicity, and everything else that we talked about. Now I'm getting ready to get into the start of my warm-up. So, George, I'm going to use you as an example. George, you're a veteran. How many years have you been with AMBA? Sorry to put you on the spot, buddy.
Sorry, I just won't be able to talk anymore, but 15 years.
Okay, that's it, George. I forgot. You already told me. Never mind. Go back and do what you got to do. Yep. 15 years. Okay. So the only person that can relate to what I'm about to share with you probably will be George. Okay. So here's what I'm going to let you know. I want you to write down the word warm up. And then the second thing you're going to, and warm up is going to be big. Okay. Because it's all part of the warm up. Your first bullet is going to be tagged busy approach. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do here is share something with you for you to understand. It's a very important part of the warm-up when you understand the why factor in class as we're handling objections before they become objections. This puts the client back in memory lane. They understand why you're there at their home, or more importantly, why you're there in this virtual meeting. The spouse is now going to understand the process and they're going to be open to listening. People do business with people who are busy, and this will help you close at the end when the clients need more time to think about it. Okay? So what I'm going to say is this, Jackie, we've run into a little bit of a problem. Do you remember when you were teaching, they used to gather all you teachers up at the beginning of the school year and explain any additions or changes made to your insurance plans at that time? Do you remember that? Whether it's a gymnasium, classroom, or auditorium. Ladies and gentlemen, what am I doing with my head?
Getting me to say yes.
But what do you see me doing?
Nodding.
Okay. And so when I nod, what do you think they're doing indirectly? They're nodding. Okay. Now, Jenna, you were in the room. Were you in the room you were in the room for the Colorado training, right?
Yes.
What did that executive director do when I did that? Do you
She
remember?
nodded.
And what did she say?
That
Does anybody
I
remember
don't
what she said?
remember.
She remembers, like, oh yeah, you're right. You're putting them back through memory lane. This busy approach is very, very important for all educators because I need you guys to understand. Every educator has to go ahead and pick an insurance plan. They go through their school year, they're done. At the beginning of the next school year, they have to do it all over again. Companies change, rates change, things shift. They do this every single year for 20 to 30 years of their career. And then when they retire, guess what? It's going to operate almost very similar. So I let them know a couple things. So it was either in the gymnasium, classroom, or auditorium. Do you remember that? And as you shake your head in a yes manner, they're going to readily agree. Well, now these benefits are geared to the retired educator. Well, the key word there being retired. Now, Jackie, you're no longer hanging around the schools. Now, do you attend any of the local meetings here in Maricopa County? Tell me, yes, you do.
Yes, I do.
Okay, great. I'm happy to hear that. Then you know less than three. Whoops.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. Then you know less than 3% of the retirees show up at these local meetings. If you're going to continue to go, you're going to see my district manager. He or she's being asked to be the guest speaker at those meetings. Now, Jackie, tell me, no, you don't attend.
No, I don't attend.
Wow, see, Jackie, that's the problem we're running into. Because if you were to attend those local meetings, you will see my district manager. He or she is being asked to be the guest speaker at those local meetings. So, Jackie, for every retiree who does not fill out the business reply card requesting information about the updated benefits, we have to visit with each of you all individually, answer any questions that you may have about the benefits that you're entitled to. We have to go from county to county, answering all these questions, and then we have to go to the next retiree. Literally, there are thousands of you all and less than 30 of us. I mean, you guys are wearing us out, and we're open to any suggestions that you may have. I'm going to hit pause. What did I just establish to this retiree?
Urgency to attend the meeting.
Okay, so Jason, write down urgency. Jason, you're going to be my note taker on something here for a second. What did I establish to the retiree? Okay, ladies and gentlemen.
You've established that there aren't many of you and that it's important to attend the meetings and be engaged so you understand what benefits are available to you.
Very good. We're getting so close. What I just did is I put my client back through memory lane. When you deal with partners, spouses, significant others, and they are together, one person who's the educator is going to be open-minded. John, the other person is going to be like this. Okay? Now, John, do you let anybody walk into your home unannounced?
No.
Why?
Maybe I haven't tidied up the place. Maybe I just don't know who it is at the front door. I guess if I don't know who it is, I'm probably not letting them in 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah, 100%. Nobody wants a stranger coming to their house. Who does? Right? Nobody. Now, envision that you're dealing with a widow and they're by themselves. 8 out of 10 times, it's women that we're embarking on, right? So now you have to do what? Establish credibility. And when you bring them back through memory lane, you mark my word, that spouse who had their hand like this, 60% of the time, they look over at their other spouse and go, is that how it used to be? Really? Oh, okay. Now, what did you just see me do? I dropped my what? My guard. Okay? I am now allowing you to present to me because I'm going to share something with you. And please don't misinterpret what I'm saying. So I'm going to do this. Because again, remember, I'm pretending as if, we're all together in a room. I'm going to be the alpha male and I'm going to protect this family. And at the end of the day, I don't care who walks in that home. I'm not buying nothing you're selling. How many of you guys have heard that before? Right? Well, when you do it this way, people are going to go, God, thank God you stopped by the home. I mean, we had no idea. Where I'm landing and what we are missing the boat on is selling the state association. So Jason Funk, this whole presentation I'm giving you is association based. You know what it's not based? AMBA based. You know what it's not based? SUDI based. This is association based. So number one, I just put you through memory lane, let you know how things used to be. Okay. Number two, I asked you, do you attend the local meetings? I don't. I honestly don't attend. Well, that's the problem you're running into. Because if you were to attend the local district meetings, this is why we're there. Asked to be the guest speaker. Your manager is asked to be that guest speaker in those counties. Bring it up. Okay. Number 3, Jason said it earlier. Heidi said it earlier. There are thousands of you all and less than 30 of us. Okay. The reason why I'm visiting with you today, Jenna, is because you did not fill out that information card and send it in. Because I'm pretending on this training that I'm calling you from the list. You didn't send the card in, and I have my appointment scheduled. But everybody else around you did. So now they're scratching their head like, wait a minute, what do you mean? So now you're grouping them out of something. People want what they don't have. How many of you all have ever went window shopping with 15 cents in your pocket and you wish you can buy this outfit? I've been there. But the minute you got $500 in your pocket and then you see the clothing, it's like, I don't know if I want to buy it. How many of you been there? The point of what I'm getting at here is I'm handling objections before they become objections. And then the last objection that I just handled, I bring it up in the very beginning, Matt, about my busy approach. Because when it comes down to the close, see, from the retiree's perspective, they're like, wow, you're extremely busy. I didn't realize this is the process. Sure, Matt, go ahead and tell me what you got to tell me. But what you did by establishing the busy approach within the first 5 to 10 minutes, when it comes down to your close in an hour and a half, they're going to remember what you just talked about from the very, very beginning. And if you do this right, everybody will buy. Because at the end of the day, they're enrolling today based upon their health. But more importantly, they're taking advantage of what their state association endorses. But more importantly, it's hard for me to get back to you to see you a second time because we have people calling the association stating nobody's come to see me for the first time. That's what I'm establishing, but they don't know that. I know that. So until you understand that the first step in your warm-up is the busy approach, that's part 1. Part number 2, I'm about to sell the association. Okay. Now, Heidi, you're going to be my client. Okay. And what I'm going to do is do this. Okay. Now, Heidi, I do have to ask you a question. Now, this is the next part called sell the association. Okay. Heidi, do you receive the quarterly bulletins from the Montana Retired Education Association? Do you receive these quarterly bulletins?
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, here, now, when she says no, then guess what? She is not a member. If she says yes, then she's a member. No matter what she says, I'm going to go through this. Okay. Well, Heidi, right now I happen to be on the Montana Retired Education Association website. And when you go here, you're going to see a lot of great information coming in here from your state association. Okay. And then when you come over here to for the memberships, you're going to see why is it important to belong to your state association. And when you look at why is it important to belong there, there's a couple things that they do here from the advocacy, from pension protection, access to certain benefits, social opportunities, and other advantages of just belonging to the group. But more importantly, when you click here on your benefits, Heidi, who do you see right here?
Amber.
Okay, and what do you see on my screen?
I see lost insurance benefits. We got them back for you.
Okay. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry, Heidi. I said that wrong. But what do you see in my backdrop? Who's the company that I represent?
Amber. Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
And
No,
I see the logo and I see it in your Zoom. Yeah, sorry.
Okay. So this is the company your state association endorses. And when you see this right here, you're going to see a lot of the things here that the retirees are inquiring about, especially when it comes to Medicare. And so what starts to happen here in these memberships or in these benefits, when you scroll it down, you're going to see all the things that you are entitled to. You hear the word I'm using? These are the benefits that you're entitled to. Because what happens here is that many retirees believe that Medicare is going to cover everything for them 100% of retirement. I mean, you would agree membership isn't, Medicare isn't going to cover everything 100% of retirement. I mean, you would agree with that, right?
Yes, I would.
Well, here's something that I want you to see here from your executive director. and I'll play
We
it.
now
I'm not gonna bore you with that right now, okay? But when I start to play this and she sees their executive director, okay? Let me stop sharing my screen. And I'm in the process of selling the association. What did I just establish? Remember, I'm still within the first 10 to 15 minutes of my presentation. What am I showing them now?
Credibility.
Credibility.
I think you established credibility. Yes.
What else am I establishing? Are you a member or not a member? Credibility. What else am I establishing? Oh, come on.
Trust.
Thank you. You got to believe me, like me, and trust me. When we talk about credibility, it's one thing being credible, but it's another thing about trust. Credibility and trust are two different things. Okay? When they trust you and they're about to open up the door, and when they see that state association parlayed with their with AMBA, and then they turn around like, you know what, I'm not a member. Maybe I need to pay attention to what's going on. Okay? Because that selling the association is very, very, very important. Okay? And when you think about AMBA, back in the day, the acronym, for those who don't know, AMBA, Association, Member, Benefits, Advisors. If you take the AM, Association Member, Jackie, that's who you are. Benefit Advisor is who I am. This is a marriage. Okay, this is a union here. We're not going to do anything to jeopardize this relationship. That used to be part of our pitch. However, I can't use that anymore because we're just known as what? AMBA. But I let them know that, hey, you're the association member in this process. My main responsibility is to make sure that you're very well taken care of, that you understand the benefits that you are entitled to now that you've retired. Ladies and gentlemen, please keep this in mind. Each one of your states that we're talking about, when they get to age 65, you got to go find your own Medicare supplemental plan. You got to go find your own Medicare Advantage plan. So I don't care if you're with the Montana retired educators, the Wyoming retired educators, Oregon retired educators, Idaho retired educators, or California retired educators. The reason why I am targeting all educators is to narrow down your focus onto all of them are just like Indiana retired teachers because they're done. And so now I'm going to go a quick recap. My warm-up was my busy approach. Number 2, selling the association. And then the number 3, I am about to ask you an affirmative question. Okay? Now let's pretend that the person that the person I'm having my meeting with is from my call list. They didn't fill out a business reply card. I am following up on the letter, got the appointment set, and now I'm visiting with them. Because it's easy to talk about the business reply card, which I will, but let me handle the hard one first. So Matt, I'm going to ask you this question. Remember, you didn't fill out a business reply card. I contacted you and was able to get the appointment set, okay, off a call list for following up. Now I'm about to ask you an affirmative question. Matt, what exactly prompted you to want to hear more about your negotiated benefits? I want everybody to write that question down because you're about to peel off the onion effect. So Matt, you can take your time or you can revisit this and listen, but what exactly prompted you to want to hear more about your negotiated benefits? And when you're ready, I want you to play with me here.
What exactly prompted you to want to hear more about your negotiated benefits?
I'm asking you the question. You're my client. So Matt, what
Yeah,
exactly prompted you?
I just want to figure out what I'm missing out on.
Okay, good. Because I just want to let you know, Matt, I mean, this may or may not mean anything to you, but here is the letter Now watch what I'm going to do to Matt. If you don't have a copy of these letters, let me know and we will get these in your hands, a PDF. Okay. This was the letter that was sent out in Maricopa County. Many of the retirees who received that letter, when they opened it up, they're talking about the updates and changes to Medicare. And when they opened it up, they had the business reply card and they filled out the business reply card and they sent it in. Unfortunately, we never got a response from you. So that's what prompted the phone call, because we don't want to be remiss of our duties. We don't want one retiree picking up the phone, calling the association stating, I never knew about this. Because again, Matt, these are the benefits that you're entitled to. But there in the state of Montana, when you get to age 65, well, you have to go find your own Medicare plans. And what your state association has done, they brought AMBA here to try to help you, because we represent not only just multiple carriers, but we also help cover the gaps in your coverages with true negotiated rates. Now, the plan that you may be on right now, it may be a very good plan and it may be really beneficial for you in this particular county. My responsibility is to educate you what's available for you, talk about where certain things, there may be some gaps in your coverage that you need to be aware of. Because even though you're in your early 60s, it's what's going to happen when you're 80s and your 90s. Because this is exactly why, preparing for tomorrow by planning for today is very important. And that's what prompted us to follow up on the call. Boom. I'm going to stop the recording here for a second. Actually, I'm going to conclude with this one thing. What I just gave you is this warm-up. It's the warm-up, adapt to your environment, busy approach, sell the association, ask the affirmative question.